Hello and welcome everybody to this XTB live news. My name is Walid Koudmani, market analyst for XTB, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the main events happening in the markets this morning, what we can expect from the second part of the session, what to keep an eye on from the economic calendar point of view, and then we're going to take a look at the charts to see some major moves and some key levels to keep an eye on as well. So let's start with a recap of what happened recently, some updates regarding the OPEC deal that wasn't reached last week. So we saw that OPEC, especially Saudi Arabia and the Emirates, had trouble reaching an agreement on output increases, and that led to some price pressures on oil. However, this week we have news that a deal was reached and production will be increased from August. So that is some major news regarding oil. However, there is a counter to that with the increase in COVID cases that has been reported and has been adding pressure to other markets, including indices, as I'm going to show you in a second. Besides that, we have earnings season that continues in the US. So, of course, it's always for anybody trading indices and anybody who's interested in stocks. Of course, earnings season is a very important part of the year where companies report their performance for the previous quarter. So today we have some pretty big companies as well, including IBM. So definitely worth keeping an eye on after market close. And really, besides that, we have more events moving into later into the week. But for today, not that much on the macro point. We should be keeping an eye on the news regarding COVID cases and any sort of further developments. But let's take a look at the charts to see some major moves. Let's start with the DAX, as always, the 30 on the index. See some major downward moves on the indices today, especially the DAX, dropping to 15,115 points. And we can see that the move actually is about 3.5% and a little bit above. So some big pressure being placed on this. Of course, the DAX suffering as well because of what happened in Germany. Some of you may be aware of the news. Major natural disasters there with flooding, of course, is going to have an impact on the companies in the country. So, but we are seeing it's going to be very important to see where this does end up going. So we can see at the moment, previous price reaction area, whether this continues to move downward or not, or manages to rebound is going to be very important to see. But on the RSI is very, very low at 7.9. So technically we would say, let's say very, very oversold. But again, it's very subjective. Other than that, let's take a look at also US indices on the other hand. Negative performance for them as well. Again, all of the indices suffering this week at the start, but this is only the start of the week. We have a lot of events coming up. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they continue to move. But quite a few of them testing, as you can see, another one, the S&P, so US 500 testing an important level. This has acted as a price reaction area and support in the past. So, but it did break through several moving averages, the 250 and 8 EMA. So let's see how far that can go or actually rebound. The US Tech Index, so IBM again reporting today, so it's going to be interesting to see. The S&P is actually quite close still to its all-time high, and also the Nasdaq, in fact, about 3% from its all-time high. So trading around 14,540, testing again. You can see the theme today, a lot of indices testing important levels and previous price reaction areas. So if we put the line here, you can see support and reaction area here, support here at the moment, testing it, and very important to see whether it rebounds or not. On the other hand, let's take a look at commodities. So I mentioned gold. Also, gold was suffering. So usually we used to see, let's say, gold doing well traditionally when indices were doing poorly because it was seen as a safe haven. But today, still increased pressure on gold, despite the fact that it did manage to recover from the very big drop we saw in the past. And here we have, after it managed to reach a high of 1,834, we have a pullback of about 1.7% at the moment, around $1,800. Important level, both because you can see other reactions here. And if we draw a rectangle, you can see all of this, but also because round numbers like 1,800, 2,000, these kinds of numbers tend to also be quite important and significant sometimes. Oil, so I said oil price pressures. We see Brent and WTI actually dropping below $70, starting the week at 69 almost, and actually 68 below. You can see dropping below all the all-time or all the moving averages and the Ichimoku cloud on the H4 time frame. And definitely a different performance from what we've seen recently from oil, dropping almost 10% from last week. Brent, on the other hand, let's take a look at Brent as well. Brent also dropping significantly, still remains above $71 though, but you can see the downward gap on the hourly chart. And finally, let's take a quick look at Bitcoin just to keep an eye on the situation on the market. We can see still hovering around $31,000, still under pressure. Very, very significant moves we've seen in the past, but at the moment we can see some more sideways movements on this. And let's take a look at actual traditional currencies. You can see USD being one of the best performing currencies today. The euro also very strong. Pound quite mixed but positive. Franc, interesting that it's actually very that positive. The yen. So we can see the franc and the yen doing very well. Traditionally, both of them safe havens. You can see the situation on indices. So it's interesting to note that, but also interesting to note that all these three majors, so the dollar, the euro, and the pound, are all performing positively. But let's take a look at the pairs. So let's take a look at pound USD. So for cable, dropping to 137, so the lowest level in quite some time. If we go back, we have to go back all the way to April of this year, so several months. You can see a downward move from 138.5, over 1%, after stabilizing here, attempting to stay, but at the moment testing this very important level. So we mentioned the 1,800 level for gold. We can see the 137 level for pound USD. So both pound and USD are actually performing positively today, but the dollar is outperforming the pound, which is what we're seeing at the moment, but some sideways movements. On the other hand, Euro USD here we can see with the US dollar index. So despite the US dollar index rising pretty high today, we can see that Euro USD is managing to hold around 117.7. And this is again the similar situation with the pound. So that's what we are seeing today. Pressure on indices, pressure on oil, gold also under pressure, and currencies performing positively. But it really does remain to be seen if this is going to be the situation moving forward. We have a lot of events coming up during the week. Central banks are still under the we're going to keep our attention on central banks and their decisions, because anything they do might impact markets. So it's going to be a very interesting week. Hopefully we see some interesting moves as well. And yes, that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Walid Koudmani, market analyst for XTB. Good luck with your trading.